Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Call out Yahbashim and Shabashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at the S. Salutations to men, women that believe are the 1/3. And children that believe. So, Isaiah, hate to talk about the woman, but the woman came so fucking wicked. They are part of prophecy. And we prophets, so we gotta mention them and bring them up. The women have become so fucking wicked that, but the judgment coming. So, as I'm moving around and, out and about, I'm starting to see women with their fucking afros, like mine. Just that raw dog, put a little water in it, some castor oil, keep it smoking. Now, see, men are not pressed for their image, but women are. And they was taught, your natural look is ugly. Like somebody look at me and say, I'm having a bad hair day. Like, what's wrong with your hair? Like, motherfucker, what's wrong with it? This is how the shit look when it grow the fuck from out my head. But our people was taught that we're not the standard of beauty, And I'm putting no comb to it. I might braid it from time to time, but I haven't been braiding it while I'm going through this trial. Just water, wash it time to time, black castor oil. But that's me. But these women, I'm starting to see a lot of women, like, with their fucking with their afro out. But it's not because they want to. It's because they have to. So, go and grab some coffee, how I do. This chick I know, well, I don't really know her, but from going there so much, it's kind of like we know each other, like an unwritten contract. And people tend to gravitate to me that even like that don't know me. But anyway, I'm kicking it with her, and she had her hair done in like braids. And I ain't really be off the weave and the different colors and shit, but it actually looked nice. So I told her, like, oh, damn, man. And she was like, yeah, I did it myself. And she did it herself. So, like, I'm behind the wheel. She did it herself for the fact that, to get something done like that, I think she had like micro braids, but it had like the blue streaks and shit up in the hair. So, blue blonde streaks, which would cost more. The hair costs money. To get somebody to do it, that costs money. But, to get these hairstyles, that's like $200, $250. Now, if you go into a salon with the booth, shit costs more. I first got down here in Maryland, I went to get like 8 braids in. A wash, blowout, 8 braids. That shit was like $120 type shit. I think I left from a $10 tip, and I ain't like it. It was like 8 straight backs. I'm like, damn. And I'm kind of spoiled because I could just have moms give me some braids, or I had to eat from my, more of an item. So, but she used to just redo my shit or give me a style, whatever. But, or the Hamites. You got some Hamites up in Harlem on 25th. And, they're like $30. Some quick shit. Damn, all right, $30. Because they ain't trying to miss a buck. But, you know, that's a couple years back. I don't know what they fucking charge now, but these women, man, to get dolled up, that shit gonna cost a fortune. Cause, you know, a hairdo like that, you know, it's summertime, so you want the braids in. Cause the braids, you can stay a lot cooler. So you want some fucking, you know, you go to a shop, you know, you go to somebody's house, they might charge you less. But because, you know, the salon, you know, you got to pay for the chair, you know, the owner renting the property, so they always charge more. So, you know, before you get some micro braids, some invisible braids, you know, it's like $200. Now, shit like $300, $350. And you better hope you like it, because, like, one thing about beauty and braiding, haircuts and shit like that, you gotta go to a motherfucker that kind of like your cup of tea. Me, I don't like different people playing in my head. Normally, you know, back in the NJ, normally I just like eat from BK touching my shit. Or Moms, that was it. You know, cause but now, you know, just get some micro braids, invisible braids, those are real thin ones. That shit like, you know, wash, blowout, shampoo. Cause shampoo shit, you get a decent shampoo, not no VO5 bullshit. You get a decent shampoo, that's gonna run you shit. Fucking $15, $20. Not even with the conditioner, $30. Then you got a lot of hair, that shit might eat up half the bottle like in one wash, depending on how well it lather. So the point I'm making, like, man, these fucking women is in trouble. But, you know, the girl I was talking to, Adri, she like, man, fuck that. And she a young Gen Z. You know? She like, man, I just braided my own shit. I'm like, you did that? She like, yeah. So she like, man, and she made mention, she like, man, I don't got, just checking the time, about to close it out. But she like, man, I don't got no $300 to be paying nobody, you know. She's like, man, on my 2 days off, I just took my time, braid one side, and the other day I braid the other side. I'm like, oh shit. She's like, yeah, man, I save that money. So, and that goes back to the Isaiah 4:1, you know what I'm saying? We would eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Because, hey man, God, it was cold as hell this morning, but it's warming up now. But back in, when I was going to school, they had a class. They had woodshop for boys, and for the women, they had home economics. They call it home ec, though. But the ec was short for home economics. Because when you think about it, your house is the upkeeping of a house. Not just the pipes and all that shit, but I'm talking about the inner layers of a home. Fuck like, you know, maintenance. Like plumbing and shit like that. The upkeeping of a home is, you gotta have economics. And when you deal with economics, that shit is a science to economics. That's where you got like an economy from. So in home economics, because you could waste a whole lot of fucking money if you don't know how to properly run your fucking house. Or the woman don't know how to properly, like, run her house. You could be wasting a whole lot of fucking money. And I mean a whole lot. Especially if you got kids. Especially if you got more than 2 kids up in there. 1 kid. Home economics, you know, they used to teach that. And one thing, you know, you'll learn how to braid. Before then, they had finishing schools where you'll send a woman to finishing school because the whole genetic makeup of a woman, or her whole concept, is valuable to the social structure of the family and life, period. So the women, will learn how to sew. They will learn how to do laundry. Not all these things, but up this alley, sewing, laundry, cooking, all of that shit was part of home economics. And where you learn how to stretch a dollar, and that kept a lot more money in the family. Because food, eating out, like, I could go buy, I'm about to get me a breakfast, right? So I got the choice. I could go, it's an IHOP right here, it's a supermarket right here. I could go to IHOP, they got some special shit. I could get me an omelet, 3 pancakes or some shit like that. Orange juice probably for like $22, right? Or I could go right here and spend the same $22, but I could eat 3 days off of it. Or maybe 4. I could make like 4 meals off that same $22. Depending on what I get. So that dealt with like home economics, home ec. So now these women is being forced back into their original role. Man, if you don't got a man, that's why, like, if you, like, men are going to become scarce. Once World War III kick off, the drafts kick off, the sodomite spirit rolling around, a working man, fuck that high value man, all that bullshit, rich men and all that, rappers and shit. Just a regular working man is like going to be like fucking gold. The Lord said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, Isaiah 13. So I'm at the supermarket right now. I don't really know what I'm going to get. I think I'm going to get me some salmon and eggs or some shit. But the salmon big enough where I could eat like probably 2-3 times off that motherfucker. But, so these women, 12 minutes, so I'm going to close it out. So these women, man, Isaiah 32:9 rise up, so they going to have to, like, all of that, man, the fucking pads. I was kicking it with the brother. We was talking about how much it costs because he actually take care of his wife and his kids in Mississippi, and she a stay-at-home wife. And he was like, yo, really, it don't really take that much to take care of a woman. And we was going over the expenses of everything. But when we got to them pads, he was like, no, that shit costs money. It was funny. He was like, that shit costs money. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, shit, because I wouldn't know, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, yo, that shit is expensive. So you going to have to, their fucking beauty products and all that shit to doll yourself up, that shit going to cost bread to get your nails done and your toes done. You're going to have people, see, under home economics, to get a manicure and a pedicure, a fucking eyelash lift. They got the natural ones where they can lift your eyelashes without putting a fake shit on. The eyelash lift, the eyebrow fucking wax, the fucking, these women do so much to fucking doll themselves up. The fucking, the makeup products and shit. Some women do their own makeup, but that shit gonna be like hundreds of fucking dollars. Even a haircut. You know what I mean? I was, somebody offered me a haircut. I'm like, yo, you out of your fucking mind? In the scriptures, we can't get shape-ups too. One dude, he was a barber. He like, yeah, man, if you want to come through, I can straighten you up. I'm like, yo, but I didn't want to be like, yo, man, like, yo, I'm in the truth, man. But I just let him talk and shit. But he was like, yeah, man, I can line you up, line your shit up real nice. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just fucking with her. I'm like, how much should that like cost? She was like, man, I do the beard and the whole line up just to shape up, you know what I mean, $30. I'm like, damn. I'm like, yo, so how much for like a whole fucking haircut? He like, $50. I'm like, yo, so if you was like, not me, because you got to cut my shit down and all that, but a regular, an adult is like $50 minimum. Like for the mustache, the beard, and the seizure up top. With the lineup, sometimes $50, $60. A kid, $25, $30 if he under like 11. So, hey, man, you're going to see people out here, you're going to see the prophecies rolling in. You know what I mean? You're going to see people out here faking it to make it. All that's bullshit. These people catching fucking pure hell. Ain't no jobs around. You know what I mean? You know, the robots and shit replacing things. People getting these fucking hours cut. A lot of jobs that people did have, like medical assistant, billing and coding and all that shit, the AI done took over all of that. So a lot of people just surviving off of like gig economy shit. And a lot of people just work at like Amazon and shit like that. You know, so a lot of these jobs, whether, you know, uppity jobs, nurses, doctors, all them shit's gonna get replaced, laid off. You know what I mean? Eventually. You know, and they gonna start working the shit out of one person. So what they gonna do is they'll have one person basically do the work of like 3 people. But that's what like the migrants was for. But they gonna put you on a salary. So that means you just get a set pay. Ain't no hours. You go home when the job is done. That's basically what salary is. And what they gonna do is they gonna work your ass like times 3 of 2 more people. So you're gonna be doing like 16-hour shit. They're gonna be asking, could you stay? You start saying you can't stay, they're gonna look at your ass. You ain't no team player. They're gonna find a way to possibly get rid of your ass. So you're gonna always have that threat hanging over your head, you know. So, yo, these women, they fucking done. Most of them wear like clogs. Even men, you know. People stressing out what kind of shoes and shit they got. People, these new motherfuckers, they wear clogs all year round. They wear them fucking, like them shoes with the holes and shit in them. Men and women, homos and lesbos. They wear clogs, sweatpants, that's it. You know what I mean? And that show you that what fucking society is breaking the fuck down. You know what I mean? They might try to get dressed up and dolled up when they go out, but after a while, you're going to see people going out in regular shit like, fuck it, girl, all right? You know what I mean? Because, like, to buy an outfit, get your hair, nails done, manicure, pedicure, all that shit done, buy you some new stilettos or some shit like that. That shit going to cost a fortune. You know, so, and as time goes on, inflation goes up. You know what I mean? Hyperinflation kicks in. The dollar loses its value. People ain't gonna have money for that shit. You know, they ain't gonna be able to make it. But hey, it's good to be a man because we're not pressed for our image. You know, I mean, you wanna take care of your hygiene, be as, you know, clean as possible, but as far as like, yo, we don't, as a man, we don't gotta do all that shit. Wash your face, brush your teeth, wash your ass, put some clothes on, keep it moving, you know. But what a man is all about, you know, our thing is, yo, is you lazy, is you broke, do you have ambition, do you have drive, are you intelligent? Those are things that kind of like define us. Is you fat? Can you do 50 push-ups? You know what I mean? Can you run a mile? That's like, because You know, that's the things, you know, could you fight? Can you throw hands? That's the things, are you a pussy? You know what I mean? Those are things that kind of define us, which is kind of shit that's off of the surface. You know what I mean? That you can't really see from really like looking at a man. You know what I mean? So, hey, Isaiah 4:1 coming through, Isaiah 32:9. You know, shit is breaking down. And with that, shalom, y'all hold it down. Y'all about to shalom. Peace out.